Dr. Erin Ambrose, teach in the School of Psychology.
And I'm Dr. Melanie Trowbridge, and I also teach in the School of Psychology, and we head up our traditional, you guys, undergraduate program for our psychology program. So welcome, welcome. We tag team, and we're going to take you on vacation pretty quickly here, but we've got some other things to talk to you about just before we do that. So, any more intro?
So how many of you kind of already know that you are interested in pursuing the field of psychology as a potential career? Okay, bunch of you. Sometimes one of the things that both Melanie and I like to do is kind of help people understand the breadth of the field of psychology. So many people who are thinking about careers in psychology, they think, okay, well, I have to be a therapist. That's what I'll do. I'll be a counselor, I'll be a psychologist, I'll be a psychiatrist, but I'm going to be working in that therapeutic field, that clinical part of psychology, which is an important part of psychology. So in addition to my being a professor here, I've been here for 17 years. In addition for me being a professor here, I'm also in private practice. I have a private practice in Roseville. So, and Melanie also has a private practice as a
I'm a doctor, I'm an MD, and I'm a psychiatrist, so I went in a different route. I had half a foot in the natural sciences and the other half a foot in psychology, so that just speaks to the versatility of the program.
But even outside of clinical, there are lots of things that you can do with a psychology degree without going into that counseling and clinical aspect of psychology. So even if you think, yeah, I'm not going to be a therapist, I'm not interested, there's a lot of things that you can do in psychology. You think about, we're humans, we interact with humans. That's pretty much what psychology looks at, is the interactions between humans. So could be something like if you want to go into law, you have to understand how to interact with people, right? Even if you want to be in sales, you know how human dynamics work, you're more likely to be able to meet the needs of your customers well. So there's just a lot, HR, how to work in large business spaces. There's a lot of things that you can do in psychology. So
in fact, in talking to a lot of you, you were thinking about taking a concentration in psychology. Some of you are talking about education and concentration in psych, or criminal justice, public policy, taking a concentration in psychology. We like to say that it's the most versatile major that we have here on campus. And I think a lot of other majors would say that, yeah, we have a lot of versatility. And so even if you're not thinking about a major, a minor or a concentration in psychology is always helpful, because who doesn't like to learn more about themselves and then in turn learn more about how to interact with each other, right? And that's what psychology is all about. Okay. All right, so you ready to go? I think our time's going to be a little short. We're done. All right, so here we go, guys. You're up. We've done yakking at you a little bit. Now it's your turn. What do you think?
Is personality and temperament the same, or are they different?
Different, excellent. Okay, how? What synonyms might you put with personality, and what synonyms might you put with temperament? If they're different, how would you describe that?
Traits versus
Okay, very good, excellent. How about let's throw out two other words. Who's heard of nature and nurture? Yeah, excellent. Okay, so let's put some words to that. What does nature talk about versus nurture? What's nature? Oh, I heard it.
genetics.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, your DNA thumbprint that God's given you when you come out in the world and say hi, right? It's who you are. How about nurture? Everything having to do with environment.
All the things that shape us after we come out.
Okay, now put those two words with personality and temperament. Which of those, nature and nurture, goes with personality, would you think?
Nurture.
Nurture,
Yeah.
beautiful.
How we are shaped a little bit more. Although some parts of our personality are more ingrained, including that temperament part.
That's right. So think of it kind of like an onion. You've got this core, right? You come out because of your nature, saying hi to the world, and then the environment, onion layers on top of that as we get older, and here we go with personality, right? So yes, we start with that temperament, but we onion layer on top of that our personality traits, okay? Beautiful, okay, we got that. going. So we don't even need to do that slide because you told us exactly what it is. All right, look at that baby. You're going to say, wait a second, those numbers don't add up to 100%. Well, when we look at temperament styles, when we say hi to the world, look at who was a difficult, or at least we're told, yeah, I was a difficult baby. Mom told me or dad told me. Or
There's some finger pointing with parents here saying, oh yeah, you were a difficult baby.
That's right. How about easy to warm up? You were just happy to be around. Yeah, very good. And then how about you just wanted to size things up for a little bit before you did anything?
I'm going to take back and look at the world, decide a little bit.
Yeah. And yes, there's other temperament styles, but they were kind of in the single digits, so I just put the top 3 up here so far. But you can see right from the get-go, your DNA thumbprint, God's DNA thumbprint on your life. You were you and uniquely you. And now as an environment, you're going to get onion layered on top of that, and then you develop, as you get onion layered, that personality style. Okay? All right. All right, so let's talk about that personality style when things go well and when things maybe don't go so well. We love this slide because a lot of us maybe get the wrong assumption, the wrong idea that there's such a thing as mental illness and mental health, right?
As 2 separate entities.
And we would say, Aaron, what?
We are on a continuum. We are all here somewhere. And depending on what's going on in our lives and how we're handling those things, we can end up sliding more to this side or sliding more to this side, right? Based on what we're doing in our life to manage the things that come at us.
Yeah, so just think about this. Flexibility or being resilient, when things are going pretty well and we're up for it, we're up for the challenge, we, in our own selves, our unique selves, are pretty mentally healthy, right? But what about, and we love this word, it's our favorite word in psychology, and we both teach this as well as you learn from this, right? God created us as a unique individual with 4 different parts: bio, psycho, social, and spiritual, right? And so when we're mentally healthy and resilient, most of the time, things are going well in those particular categories. But let's say you get COVID and you got it pretty badly. Is that going to affect and infect the other areas of your life? Yes. You betcha. So maybe during that time we move on the continuum a little bit over here and we become a little bit distressed and some of our skills or our tools in our tool belt aren't working as effectively as they were before, right?
Absolutely. So, I mean, think about, there are some things we can't, like, you know, your example of COVID, there are some things that we couldn't do if we were sick with COVID, like connect with other people, right? We are built for connection. That is who God made us to be. And so if for whatever reason we don't get that for a long period of time, we can start feeling pretty hopeless, right? Like, am I ever, and then anxiety, am I ever going to feel better? Am I ever going to get my life back again? And depending on how long we're staying there, back to Melanie's point, bio, psychosocial, spiritual, we could have the bio impacting then our emotional, right? That feeling of distress, right? And then the social part, we're not getting the social connections that we need. So they all impact each other.
So God made our brain very uniquely wonderful. He made it such that everybody here, or anybody here, ever hear about your brain being plastic? Have you ever heard that term being associated with your brain? And we're not talking Tupperware, right? We're talking plastic, meaning if I took my water bottle over here and I crushed it and I squished it and I stomped on it, would it still be a plastic water bottle? It would still maintain the integrity of this plastic water bottle. And that's exactly how God made our brain, very plastic. And He wants our brain, and what our brain does is it wants to move from pathology, not so healthy over here, like here, and it wants to move towards health over there, constantly, right? So given the opportunity and given us to buy into that opportunity, we're going to be able to move ourselves from here over to here. Sometimes maybe with the help of others, right? Other times Yes, we can do that for ourselves, but our brain is so very plastic to be able to do that, right? It actually changes your structure of your brain as well as the function of your brain. For instance, here's just a tidbit. If you take anything away from this little mini lecture and remember it, maybe in 2 days or so, you've actually changed the shape of your brain. I can put you in a functional MRI machine, one of those fancy scans. We can actually see new neurons forming, or the neurons that you already have just blossoming all over the place, just because you learned something new and held on to it. Cool.
We're currently shaping your brains.
Okay, so all that to say, you are unique, and in that plasticity and in that wonderfulness of you, your temperament style and personality style, we like to talk about personality in 5 different domains. What are those?
Right. The big 5, what we talk about in personality, we're looking at how we interact in the world. We can, with all of these things, openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. Now, most people have heard the difference between extroversion and introversion, right? Most of you have heard that. But maybe you haven't heard of the spectrum in conscientiousness, right? So whether, are we going to get to? Yes, we are. Okay. On different sides here, again, it's a spectrum, right? It's a slide rule of where we are. So you may not be all the way over here. You may be more like here, or here, or here, or more like me in the middle. I'm more of an ambivert, kind of in the middle. So openness has to do with being open to new experiences, or being a little bit more restricted, right? So it's, are you going to talk about the negative sides?
We are. Yeah, so let's talk about the degree to which we are, right? Nobody, I don't often use like absolutes like that, right? Nobody is 100% one or the other.
Right.
We're somewhere in between those areas. Even if we feel like we're extremely extroverted or extremely introverted, we still have a smidge of the other, right? So when we're talking about any of these 5, we're talking about the degree to which we are. And right here, let's start with openness. The degree to which we are imaginative, curious, artistic, creative, and open to new experiences. Now hold on. You're going to say, wait a second, if I'm more closed, is that negative? No, it is not, and I'm going to show you. We're going to show you about, depending on what you want to go into, we want to size up our wonderful gifts and talents God's given us and how He's created us and what fits best with our personality style and the things that we want to do in life, our jobs and our careers. So don't get too excited about this being the gold standard, because being closed, right, and having that tenacity is absolutely a positive too, okay? So hold on to that. All right, Erin, go with the next one.
So conscientiousness, the degree to which someone is organized, deliberate, conforming, and self-disciplined. So again, as Melanie mentioned, that doesn't mean if you scored lower on conscientiousness that that's a bad thing, right? If you are less conforming, that could be a really good thing. We need, like, especially when we think about new discoveries, we need people who are going to be a little less conforming, right? So we'll talk about what can be positive about the opposite side of that.
Beautiful. Okay, easy. Extroversion, introversion. The degree to which we are outgoing, assertive, active. Okay, we're going to bypass that one pretty quickly because we kind of get the 411 on extroversion and introversion there. Okay. Agreeableness. The degree to which we are kind. This is the one I really don't like how this is kind of phrased here.
Yeah.
The degree to which we are kind, helpful, easygoing, and generous. You mean if I'm not that agreeable, I'm not kind? Again, just hold on, push pause. We're going to get to the other side of it and see how that can be helpful too. Okay.
Neuroticism, the degree to which one is anxious, moody, self-punishing, or critical. That all sounds pretty awful, right? I don't think anybody wants to say, sign me up for a dose of that, right? But as Melanie mentioned, there are positive things within each side of each one, okay?
And we don't use this word too much anymore. We used to use the word neuroticism frequently. Anybody know what we use now instead? Kind of anxious or careful, right? We're kind of anxious, or maybe think about it a little bit more than others might, okay? All right, here's where we want to go now. We've got to pick a couple because we want to get to you guys going on vacation here.
Can we do neuroticism?
Yes, do it. Yep.
So we talked about what neuroticism was, right? There's the anxious, there's the self-conscious. But think about some of these words. How would you like to be resilient, responsive, right? Resilient and responsive. Those are good things, right? So again, with each trait that we're talking about, there are positives and negatives on each side.
Right, so if you're low in neuroticism, you're more resilient. However, if you're more medium in this area, you are going to be more responsive to situations. And if you're working with a team, would you want to be a little bit more responsive to differing opinions about certain things? Absolutely. Okay, let's take another one. Agreeableness. Of course I want to be agreeable. Wait a second. If I'm high in agreeable, yes, I'm an adapter. But if I'm low in agreeable, maybe I can be a challenger. Well, wait a second. Just because we've done it this way all the time, is that really the right way? Right? So you can see, depending on if we're high, medium, or low, both of those, all three of those have their positives. Okay.
Openness, right? Exploring. If you're high in openness, you may be more of an explorer. But if you're low, you're a perseverer. Again, that's a positive trait. Someone who can persevere, that's a strong thing. Either of those are good, right? So none of these, like we're going to have you take a personality test here in just a bit. There's no failing it, right? You can't fail your personality test, right? So please understand that when you see certain terms, what could be positive about this term? What is positive, and how am I going to use what God has given me in order to be a gift to the world around me? Okay?
That's right. Okay. So here we go. First one, this is all, and I've tested them today. Every once in a while, one of them's not working or we're down. This one is up and running. So what I want you to do, in your personal devices, grab hold of this, okay? I think there's about 60 questions, okay? You'll fly through it. And then there's 2 questions that says what your age is and your gender. The rest of them do not answer, okay? They're just asking, if you want to later, go ahead. You can be part of a study maybe, okay? We're not doing that today. So just answer those questions, your age and gender, and then go to the bottom and hit submit, and it will give you a bar graph and say, are you high, low, or somewhere in between, okay? All right, go for it.
That's okay.
If for some reason you can't get in on this one is also up and running. Just checked them about an hour ago. Give me a thumbs up if you're in. Okay, perfect. when you get your score, just kind of make eye contact with us and give us a thumbs up. Okay, who needs just a couple more minutes? Okay, keep going. Feels like a long time, but it's because we're silent, but it's really only been a few minutes. And I've got a lot of questions on that to ask you, so we get it. I bet you have a good idea where you decide.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll go with that. Oh, good. So he gave it to you?
I had to go back again.
All right, how we doing? A couple more minutes, anybody? Everybody got their score? Yay! Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you're going to do with that score, okay? We are going to send you on vacation. Doesn't that sound pretty cool? Woo, yes.
I wish Jessup actually had a budget for that, because that would be a lot of fun.
Yes, it would. Okay, so you are going to get together in your groups. You're going to pick which group of the 5 you scored highest in. Now, if it was a tie, you're just going to have to decide which one you're going to go into. If, for whatever reason, you didn't have your smart device with you, then you kind of probably know a little bit about where you land, right? So you're just going to go ahead and go in that group.
All right, look for your highest score,
Yep.
right, of the 5 traits,
Yep.
right? That's where we're going to pair you with others of that same high score,
Right,
okay?
right.
So we'll have all the openness people together, the extrovert people together, the conscientious people together, right? We're gonna divide into groups according to your high score.
Very good. And here's what you're going to do. We're going to talk about this together, but then in your groups and your breakout, this is what you're going to decide, okay? Where's your group going to go? What are you going to take along with you? What are you going to pack? Who, not just what, but who are you going to bring with you? What will you do while you're there? And then anything else your group thinks is important for the trip that we haven't already asked you.
So where is your group going to go on vacation? You get to decide together where you're going to go. What to pack, who to bring, what to do, and anything else. Okay, any questions before we go into our groups? Okay.
All right, you decide where they're going to go.
All right, let's see, we need a group over here. How about people who scored high in conscientiousness in this corner? Go ahead and start moving. If you scored high in conscientiousness over in this corner.
We're taking our families, and we have a long list of activities that are all planned out. Every detail, every minute of the day. There's going to be swimming with turtles, snorkeling, hikes, tours, luau, boating, jet skiing, immersing ourselves in culture, parasailing, surfing, good eating, and then we're going to build in some downtime and beach time at the end.
Is it a surprise to you that this is a conscientious group where there's more?
No.
There's more.
That would explain why.
Anything else?
Yes, the budget is very important. Having ourselves all planned out with our budget ahead of time, and then also making sure that we're aware of safety while we're there, and making sure that we know keeping our stuff secure. And
Very good. How'd you guys do as a group? Yeah.
we waited until after the whole thing was done to introduce ourselves.
All right, your group right here. Who's this?
Hi, I'm point person. So,
Okay, and what is this group?
Oh, we're extroverted.
Okay, extroverted. All right, extroverted, take it away.
We decided we were going to go to Hawaii as well. We wanted to go camping on the beach. So that's where we're going. We decided to pack less so of a list than the conscientious group, but we decided that we needed things for swimming, hot weather, one pair of clothes for warm or cold weather, and then things and money, but we hoped that it would be free. So
Free on the beach. There you go.
Right.
Okay.
We all decided to bring boyfriends and best friends, and what did you just friends, right? Yeah. So we all kind of decided friends, not family. Nothing against them. We just, friends came to mind.
It's a big
extroverted. Yeah. Ideally, we would bring our church groups. That's what we said. So, what would we do while we're there? We decided, obviously the camping on the beach. I said boogie boarding was shot down by the rest of the group. So we're going to go snorkeling instead, hiking, biking, find waterfalls and swimming pools and do that kind of stuff. And what? Oh, and try Dole Whip. Also, we decided it would be cool to have a bonfire worship night. So, also bringing instruments and things like that, preferably like a generator and stuff for keyboard. Cool stuff. And then anything else that our group thinks is important for the trip. Yeah,
Fellowship and community. Sounds like an extroverted group, huh?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, excellent. Thank you.
Agreeableness, back there.
Hello.
All right, tell us about your trip.
Well, you can imagine that we all agreed on it. Not that difficult. So, after very easy consideration, we decided to go to the United Kingdom because we were like, why not go to the country? Like most of us, I think, haven't gone to the country. So let's get out of there. What are we packing? We're packing clothes, we're packing shoes, we're packing toiletries, we're packing phones and phone chargers and portable phone chargers because we're ready. I think that's it. Okay, yeah, I'll say that. Passports. We need passports. That's a good idea. Who will we bring? We agreed each other. We're coming as a group. No, not negotiable. You could bring maybe a few people are best friends. Some people want to bring their dogs. Cool. Let's bring our dogs. What we're gonna do out there? We're gonna explore. I don't know what's in the United Kingdom. Didn't know that there was more than one thing in there. That was something I just learned. So we're gonna explore, figure out what's over there, figure out what's going around. And we think it was important that we're gonna stay there for about 2 weeks to completely explore every mile of this country. I believe that is It.
I have a question for you guys.
Oh, no.
Sometimes agreeableness, even because you're so agreeable, you have a hard time making decisions. Did you have that problem at all?
Yes.
Okay, a bunch of you are saying, yeah. Tell me a little bit about what the problem was.
We couldn't decide on where to go first.
Okay, what else?
We like someone would just say one thing, and then we were all like, yeah, we'll do that.
Sounds like a good idea.
I agree with that, yeah.
Makes sense.
Very good. Thank you.
They all want to take each other.
You guys don't want to take each other? Monsters. We formed a tight bond. Like, I know their names when I look at their name tags.
All of our names.
How about our central group right here, our neuroticism group? Tell us about your trip.
We chose to go to Tahiti,
Tahiti.
and we decided to bring friends and family, and we decided to, the necessities we need, like phone chargers, portable chargers, and our phones, passports, food, and even like, just in case if we need it, like a translation book, because Tahiti is like the languages. And we decided, for like the things that we're gonna do, snorkeling, have a campfire on the beach, swimming, and stargazing.
And stargazing. Okay. Did you notice that just in case we need it, right? Like again, that's a very, oh, have to be careful, I have to be aware, right? Like thing. What else did you notice about your group as you were working together?
When I asked you how you got along, what did you guys say? How did your group function?
I think like at first we were like kind of nervous, but then once we like understood everything, we just.
But kind of nervous at
clicked,
first, right?
Yeah. She said we clicked. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. How about our openness group over here? Why don't you tell us about our group? Somebody, you will please do.
Openness group, we were so open, we decided to go to multiple places because we couldn't agree on one place. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
We're going to Hawaii, New York, and Jamaica. I don't know how we're gonna do it all, I guess, because why not? And then,
And then far as packing, we just named a whole bunch of things that we just felt like was relevant depending on what place we were at. So Jamaica, swimsuit, but New York, if it's cold, then
And we
something
could always
warm.
buy stuff.
Yeah, she said, let's pack light so we can buy stuff as we go to different places, because money's not an option.
Brilliant.
that's what made it amazing. Like, everyone has to worry about money. Like, it's stupid. And then we were thinking about family. I wanted to bring friends, but most people voted family, because they're a little better people than I am. What will
we do when we get there? That depended on where we was at.
yeah.
So swimming, if we're in Jamaica, New York, what do we say? Shopping? I don't know.
Let's
So
go
it's
to concerts.
concerts, etc. Meet the locals, eat, like try new foods.
How about anything else the important? You had an idea with that, like the important things that we were going to try to wrap into our trip.
Yeah, so after our trip is over, we wanted to extend our trip. So I figured if you are in advertising as a job, you can leverage your relationship with your boss and say, hey, you should extend my trip so I can build more partnerships in these locations that we don't have any connections with. So now my company is paying for me to continue my traveling, and now I'm getting paid to do it.
So perpetual vacation is kind of what you figured out there for
You
that,
guys
right?
did a fabulous job. We would love to keep you longer, but we are already keeping you a few minutes later, which thank you so much for us being able to do that. But hopefully you learned a little bit about yourselves and some others in this process, and we loved having